how important is an onboarding process for the success of that candidate and their longevity at the company?
The recruitment process is such a microcosm of your company and how you do everything. It takes you 2 weeks to get back to candidates. That candidate is going to assume that things move slow in your company and that it's hard to get people aligned and it's hard to get people together to have a conversation about something important. That assumption is probably pretty true. There's obviously, you can give people and companies the benefit of the doubt, but I really believe that we're moving into an era of employees and candidates and applicants really being a lot more specific and particular with where they're placing their bets. And this isn't just in cannabis, this is across the board. You can just sense this from everyone. The recruitment process is such a reflection of the company. And then the onboarding is a continuation of that. Every touch point you have with someone before they get into a company is really an opportunity to say something about your company and strengthen the relationship. Companies have to remember now that there's so many other companies, there's so many options. Companies live in their own world, right? And sometimes I have to remind them of that when candidates have multiple offers and I'm talking to a company, I'm like, 3 other companies want this person. And they're like, what? How could that be? And it's like, well, they're looking for a job. They're not just going to talk to one person. And then on top of that, the onboarding process, if you have an onboarding process that is half decent, where, you've set up some training, you've set up some meetings, you've gotten people comfortable, you do some check-ins, you've given them a roadmap to success, you've given them all the tools and the access to the tech, and let them know, what their day is going to look like, who they're going to be communicating with, all these things that matter and are so simple and obvious. You do that, you're like, you're basically like 100xing your possibility that the person is going to stick around. It's really that simple. And I think the cannabis industry is one of those industries where we have this perception of, yes, everything's going very fast and it's stressful and it's hard. And there's so many things that make this industry incredibly hard. But the sense of pace of like, oh, we're going so fast that we can't do that.
That's a horrible excuse.
It's a horrible excuse because that not doing that is actually going to slow you down.